The following story is about my personal best smallmouth. Hope you enjoy it. One of the questions that I've asked a lot of the people, a lot of the anglers and boat mechanics and outdoor writers, all the people I'm interviewing for the book I'm working on is, tell me about the biggest smallmouth you've caught. And I thought it would be a good idea to get the story of my biggest on video here today. It was actually down on the Rappahannock on a day when it was at its lowest it's been in a long time. It's a couple years back. Drought conditions. Did I think a 12-mile float, and the delivery operator who was shuttling me really tried to talk me out of biting off that much river. Not far into the float, I figured out a pattern that I stuck with for the rest of the day, which was to just... Sorry, that was a fish that I missed. The pattern was to just fish the last little bit of the pool before a rock garden, or the ends of the pools. That's where a lot of the big fish were setting up, in areas that I later termed in the first book laminar flow. Laminar flow is something that perplexed me for a while. I didn't understand why. I don't think I still understand why, but I recognize it as a place that they will hang out when it's at its lowest. Sometimes not when it's at its lowest, but when they're just chilling, they want to position in a place where there's not a lot of current to fight. The current that's on them is very gentle and it goes straight. Usually it can be fairly shallow water. It isn't always, but it has a flat, uniform bottom. Pea gravel. Sometimes it's on bedrock. Sometimes a sand flat. And you'll see a fish that's just out in the middle of nothing. There's no cover or structure or anything for them to hold on. It's just very comfortable place for them to hold and conserve energy. I think that's what they're trying to do. Where I caught this 22.5-inch Rappahannock River smallmouth, I was throwing a green tube like I am today, and launched it to a spot that, had I gotten a better look at it before I cast, I would have never put it there. There was really nothing going on there, but it was such a long cast, and I was into, in those clear conditions, really trying to get a lot of distance between me and where I was fishing so as to not spook the fish. And, as soon as it hit, I saw the wake rocketing up towards it. I didn't even have to set the hook. It grabbed it and ran, and as soon as I was into my set, he was pulling drag. So he hit it on the run and just kept on running. Pulled me. I had casted over a sandbar, and he pulled me up onto the sandbar and really wedged me on there good. So the kayak advantage, the built-in drag of being dragged wasn't in play anymore. And actually, at the time, I was in a sit-in kayak with a skirt on it, and I didn't get a chance to pop it until I got the fish close, which took some time. It was a while to get them close. But I eventually did, popped a couple pictures, and continued on that day with that pattern, catching a bunch of nice fish. A 20 and 3/4, a 19 and 3/4, a 19 and a half, two more 19s, a bunch in the 18 and 19 inch range. And that was sticking with the pattern of just fishing the last little bit of the pool before a rock garden or before a riffle. The longer and the bigger the pool it was, the more it, the better fish it held. But I would paddle through the entire pool, and once I got close, I'd really slow down and pick which corner. It's not a real big river. And I would pick, all right, I'm either going to hit that corner pocket or that corner pocket. And because I was going to basically set up in the other corner and lob a nice long cast over. So, and that worked for me that day, both with the big green tube and also with buzz baits as well that day. But yeah, that's the biggest I've caught, 22 and a half. I wish I would have had a scale to weigh it, but it was a nice big heavy fish that was probably getting fed on Rappahannock River redbreast sunfish.